Hello and welcome to week 11 tutorial of CS311. This week we are given 5 questions. So we'll start with the first one, that is 9.3. It says consider the page table shown in figure 9.3. So this table for a system with 12-bit virtual and physical addresses and with 256 byte pages. That means the size of each page is 256 byte. The list of free page frames is DEF. So we'll come to this part of the question later. Convert the following virtual addresses to their equivalent physical addresses in hexadecimal, and all the numbers are given in hexadecimal. Dash for a page frame indicates that the page is not in memory. So what this means is this is a page table, and if you look at, for example, page number 2, then that is mapped to frame C. That means if a process wants to access page 2, then it will get that page from the main memory in frame number C. For page number 4, there is no frame in the memory. That means when the process tries to access page number 4, then a page fault will occur because that frame is not in the memory. So for these virtual addresses, we have to convert them into their equivalent physical addresses. So first one is 9EF. Now we know that a virtual address or a logical address is made up of two parts. The first part is the page number and the second part is the offset. So in this case, the virtual address is made up of 12-bit and the page size is 256 byte. That means for the page size, we will need 8 bits. That is 2 power 8 is 256. So out of that 12-bit, the first 4 bits will be the page number and the second 8 bits will be the offset, making a total of 12 bits. So we are given this address, and if we convert that into binary, then for 9 we will get 1001. E is 14, so that will be 1110, and F is 15, so that is 1111. So the last 8 bits is the offset. So this part will remain the same in the physical address. So this is the logical address or the virtual address. And in the physical address, again, there are two parts. So first one is the frame number and the second part is the offset. So we know that the offset will remain the same. So this part will come here. That is the 8 bits from the virtual address. And for the page number, we will convert that to the frame number and bring it into the physical address. So 1001 is 9. And if you convert 9 into the physical address or the frame number from the page table, then for page number 9, the frame number is 0. So that will be frame 0, right? And 0 in hexadecimal is, or 0 in binary is 0. So when we convert this back to hexadecimal, we will get 0, E, and F. Now you will notice that the second two letters from the logical address remains the same in the physical address. That is because the virtual address over here is made up of 12 bits and each letter in the logical address is 4 bits. So if we convert the 8 bits from here to binary and then convert that back to hexadecimal, we will get the same numbers again. So for this question, we don't really need to convert the addresses into binary. We can just get the last two letters, that will be the offset, and the first one will be the page number. So for the first one, the physical address is 0EF. Then for the second one, that is 111. So again, this is in a hexadecimal. So from here, these two numbers will be the offset and that will remain the same in the physical address. So I'll copy this and paste here. Then the first letter, that is the page number. And if you convert that to the frame number using the page table, then 1 maps to frame number 2. So in the physical address, the frame number is 2 and the offset is 11. So for this virtual address, this is the physical address. Then third one, 700, right? So we will convert the first one, that is the page number, to the frame number. So for page 7, there is no frame in the memory. So a page fault occurs and a free page is brought into the memory. So in here, it says there are 3 free page frames, that is D, E, and F, and D is at the head. So D will be brought into the memory. So D comes over here. That means 7 will now be mapped to D, and then the second 2 letters or numbers remain the same. So for 700, the physical address is D00. Then next one is 0FF. Again, we'll convert a 0 to the frame number. So page 0 doesn't have any frame, so we will bring in the second empty page, that is E, because D is already used. So we will bring in E. So 0 will map to E, and the second 2 letters will remain the same. So for 0FF, the physical address is EFF. The next one is 9.7. It says consider the 2-dimensional array I of size 100 by 100, where I00 is at location 200 in a paged memory system with pages of size 200. So we know that in a paged memory system, the pages are of the same size, and in here the size of each page is 200. Now it doesn't say whether it is 200 bytes or what. So what we will assume is that from this array, 200 elements can be brought into the memory at once. And then a small process that manipulates the matrix resides in page 0 from locations 0 to 199. Thus, every instruction fetch will be from page 0. For 3 page frames, how many page faults are generated by the following array initialization loops? Use the list recently used replacement and assume that page frame 1 contains the process and the other 2 are initially empty. So there are 2 ways we know in which we can initialize a 2D array. One is by going vertically and the other is by going horizontally. So if you look at this entire question visually, then this is how it looks like. So there's an array of size 100 by 100, indexes from 0 to 99. And then for the memory, there are 3 page frames. And it says that in the first page, that is page 0, there is a process that will work on the matrix. And that program is in the locations 0 to 199. So these are the locations 0 to 199. And in that location, we have the program which is going to execute or do something on this array. And then the other 2 pages are initially empty. Now, if you look at the first loop, it says j goes from 0 to j less than 100. And then for each j, I goes from 0 to 99 or 100. And then in each iteration, we are setting the array elements to 0. So what happens in here, for each j, I will go from 0 to 100. So we know that the first part of the array is the row and the second part is the column. Right? If you recall your CS111 or CS112, the first part is the row and the second part is the column. So in here, for every j, I goes from 0 to 100. That means when j is 0, I will go from 0 to 100. Then when j becomes 1, I will go from 0 to 100 again. That means for every j, I will change. So this is the row and the second part is the column. That means for every column, the row will change. So in part I, the array will be accessed column by column, something like this, right? Vertically. Then in part B, for each I, j goes from 0 to 100. So we have row and column. That means for every I, j will change. Okay, so for every row, the column changes. So in here, in this one, we will go row by row. Now to answer the question, we will do part B first because that is easier than part I. So in part B, we are going row by row. Now when the program starts, it's going to start from the first element, that is at I00. So what it will do is try to set that particular element to 0. because we are trying to initialize the array to 0. Now to do that, the array must be brought into the memory. Only then the program can do something on the array. Now since the array is not in the memory, then the array will be brought into the memory. And how many elements can we bring in the memory? We can only bring 200 because the size of each page is 200. So we will bring the first 200 elements into the first empty page. So I'll color this green. So those 2 rows will be brought into this memory. So each row has 100 elements, that is from 0 to 99. So 2 rows will make it 200 elements. That is why we are bringing in 2 rows. Now once those 2 rows are in the memory, then the process can do this. That is Ij equals 0. That means after the rows have been brought into the memory, then all the elements in the array will be initialized to 0. Now we need to initialize the rest of the elements to 0. So now again another 200 elements will be brought into the memory. So these 2 rows are brought into the memory. So that one goes into the second empty page. Now once the array is in the memory, then again they are initialized to 0. Then the next one is 40. So again this will be brought into the memory. So this one goes into the second page because this was the least recently used page according to this algorithm LRU. So this will be taken out and this one will be brought into the memory again. So once that is there, again this will be set to all zeros and the same process continues. Now we know that for every page fault, 200 elements will be brought into the memory and will be initialized to 0. Now in the array there are a total of 10,000 elements because the array is of size 100 by 100. And in each page fault, 200 elements are initialized to 0. That means in total we are going to need 50 page faults, after which all the elements in the array will be initialized to 0. So answer for part B is 50 page faults. Then for part A, in part A we are going column by column. So something like this. So when the program starts at element 0, 0, so 200 elements will be brought into the memory. So 200 elements are brought into the memory. It goes over here, right? But we know that we are accessing the array column by column. That means we are going like this. That means from whatever is there in the memory, only 2 elements will be initialized to 0 because we are going vertically. So after this one, we will go to the second one, that is 2, 0. So these 2 rows are brought into the memory. It goes in the second empty page. And again, only these 2 numbers will be initialized to 0. Then it goes to the fourth row or the row number 4. So this is brought into the memory in the first page and these 2 are initialized to 0. So we can see that after each page fault, when the rows are brought into the memory, only 2 elements are initialized to 0. And since there are 10,000 elements, then if in each page fault we are only setting 2 elements to 0, then in total we are going to need 5,000 page faults, after which all the elements in the array will be initialized to 0. The next one is 9.8. It says consider the following page reference string. How many page faults would occur for the following replacement algorithms, assuming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 frames? Remember that all frames are initially empty. So your first unique pages will cost 1 fault each. And that is using each of these algorithms. So there are 7 different page frames that we have to work with, and for each of these algorithms. Now there are 20 pages given in here. If we count these, there are 20 in total. So if there's only one empty page, and if we were to bring all of these in memory one by one, then of course we will need 20 page faults, after which they will all be brought into memory one by one. So no matter which algorithm we use, we are going to need 20 page faults. Then I'll do for 5. So I'll make 5 page frames. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if I have 5 empty page frames and I'm using the LRU algorithm, then how many page faults will there be in total? So we'll start with the first one. So number 1 has to be brought into memory, and that is currently not in the memory. So 1 page fault will occur. So I'll indicate that with a star to indicate that is 1 page fault. So that is brought in the first empty page. So we have 1 there. The next one is 2. So 2 is not in the memory. So 2 is brought into the memory. Another page fault happens and 2 is brought in the memory. Then 3 is not there. So a page fault happens and 3 is brought in the memory. Then 4 is not there. So a page fault happens and page 4 is brought in the memory. Then 2. So 2 is already in the memory. So we don't need that one. 1 is again in the memory. 5 is not there. So a page fault will happen and 5 will be brought in the memory. So 5 is gone. The next one is page 6. Now all the frames are full and we need to bring in page 6. So which one should we remove? So since we are using the list recently used algorithm, so from page numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the list recently that was used was page number 2, because 1 is used recently, 2 is used, 3 is used, 4 is used, and 5 is used. The list recently used was page number 3. So we will remove page 3 and bring in page number 6. So a page fault happens because that page is not in the memory. 3 is removed and that is replaced with 6. So 3 is gone. Then the next one is 2. So 2 is already in the memory. So we'll skip that. 1 is still in the memory. We'll again skip that. 2 again in the memory, skip that. 3, now 3 is not in the memory. So we'll need to remove 1 from this. Now from 1 to 6, 4 and 5, which are in the memory, 1 to 6, 4 and 5, which one was the least recently used? So from this, 2 was used, 1 was used, 6 was used, 5 was used, and 4 was the least recently used, because 4 is the furthest away from 3. So we will remove page number 4 and bring in page number 3. So page fault happens and then 4 is removed and replaced with 3. Then next one is 7. So again the pages or the frames are full. So we need to make a space for 7. So the list recently used from 1 to 6, 3 and 5. From 1 to 6, 3 and 5 was page number 5, because 1, 2 and 6, 3, they are recently used. The list recently used is page 5. So we will remove page 5 and bring in 7. So a page fault happens. Then we will bring in page 7, right? And for that you will remove page 5. So 7 is gone. Then we have 6. So 6 is still in the memory. So skip that. 3 is still in the memory. 2 is still in the memory. Skip that. 1 is in the memory. Skip that. 2 is in the memory. Skip that. 3 is in the memory. Skip that. And 6 is also in the memory. So skip that. So in total we had 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 page faults. So using the LRU and 5 frames, there will be 8 page faults. Now in a similar way, you can complete it for 2, 3, 4, 6 and 7 frames. So what you will do is, for the second frame or 2 frames, you will draw 2 frames instead of 5 and repeat whatever we have done in this part. Then for 3, you will make 3 frames and then again repeat the process. Then with 4 frames, then 6 and 7. For this one, we have done with 5 frames. The next one is FIFO. So again, I'll use 5 frames. So first one is page 1, 2, 3, 4. So page 1 is not in the memory. So a page fault happens, indicate with a star, and page 1 is brought into the memory. Then we have page 2. So page 2 is not in the memory. So page 2 will be brought in. That is a page fault happens and page 2 is brought in the memory. Then next is page 3. 3 is not in the memory. So a page fault happens and 3 is brought in the memory. Next is page 4. So 4 is not in the memory. So a page fault happens and 4 is brought in the memory. Next one is 2. So 2 is in the memory. So we will skip that. 1 is also in the memory, skip that. 5 is not there. So a page fault will happen and 5 is brought in the memory. Then next one is page 6. So 6 is not in the memory and the frames are all full. So we will remove one, and the one that we will remove is the one that came in first. So first in, first out. So the one that came in first was page number 1. So we will remove 1 and put in 6. So a page fault happens because 6 is not in the memory, and then we will bring in 6. Then we have 2. So 2 is in the memory, skip that. 1 is not there. So we will need to bring in 1. So a page fault happens and 2 will be removed because that was the first in after page 1. So a page fault happens and we'll remove 2 and bring in 1. Then next one is 2. So 2 is not there. So we will remove 3 because that was the next one that came in first. So a page fault will happen. We will remove 3 and bring in page 2. The next one is 3. So 3 is not there. So we will remove 4. A page fault happens. We will remove 4 and bring in 3. Next one is 7. So 7 is not there. We will remove 5 and bring in 7. So a page fault happens. So 5 is removed and 7 is brought in. Next one is 6. So 6 is already there. So we will skip 6. Then we have 3. 3 is there. Then next is 2. 2 is also there. 1 is also there. 2 is also there. 3 is also there. And 6 is also there. So in total, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 page faults. So with FIFO, we have 10 page faults. Right? We count the number of asterisks to get the number of page fault. Because for each page fault, we have put one star symbol. Then next one is optimal. So I'll again use 5 page frames. So in optimal, what happens is the page that will not be used for the longest period will be removed when a page fault happens. So for page 1, it is not in the memory. So a page fault happens and 1 is brought in the memory. So a page fault and 1 is brought in the memory. A page fault happens and 2 is brought in. Then 3 is not there. So a page fault happens. 3 is brought in. Then 4 is not there. Page fault happens and 4 is brought in. Then 2 is there. So we'll skip 2. 1 is also there. We'll skip 1. 5 is not there. So a page fault happens and 5 is brought in. Then next one is 6. Now 6 is not in the memory. Now all the frames are full and 6 is not there. So which one should we remove? So we'll look in the future and see which pages out of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 will be used after the longest period of time. So we have 2, we have 1, we have 3, we have 7, we have 6, 3. So you can see that 5 is not used for the longest period because 5 is not there. So we will remove page number 5 because 5 will not be used. So we will remove 5, that is a page fault happens. So 5 is removed and 6 is brought in. Then next one is 2. So 2 is there, we will skip 2. 1 is also there, we will skip 1. 2 is there, we will skip 2. 3 is there, skip. Then next is 7. So 7 is not there. So which one should we remove? So out of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6, which one will be used after the longest period? So we can say that 6 is used, 3 is there, 2 is there, 1 is there, and 4 will not be used for the longest. So we will remove 4 and bring in 7. So a page fault happens and page number 7 is brought in. Then we have 6. So 6 is there in the memory, skip that. 3 is there, skip that. 2 is there, skip 2. 1 is also there, skip 1. 2 is also there, skip 2. 3 is there, skip 3. And 6 is also there, so skip 6. So in total we have 2, 4, 5, 6 and 7 page faults. So with the optimal we have 7 page faults with 5 empty frames. So I have shown for the 3 algorithms, that is how they work, and with page sizes 5. So in the similar way, you can do for page sizes or page frames of size 6, 7, 2, 3 and 4. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching.